Hello and welcome to Just My Thoughts. I'm your host Khalil Ward, and thank you for tuning in to the podcast. This podcast is going to be a movie review on the Power Rangers movie. I just came in from the theater. The crowd was nice. It wasn't sold out, but it was a nice crowd. I am a big Power Rangers fan. I was a Power Ranger growing up. Like, I came home from school and turned on Power Rangers, so I was excited when the movie got announced. And I know going into it, there will be things that, were different from the show. So let's jump right into it. The premise of the movie is the same, 5 random kids, the story. They find coins and, they become the Power Rangers. But in this movie, they give you a good opening sequence, which is a flashback that helps, gives you a lot of information for the people who may not know the backstory of the Power Rangers. But basically, Rita Repulsa, who's the bad guy, she's trying to revive Goldar. And if you watch the show, Goldar was like her number one henchman. He was a gold, and he looked like a Sphinx in a way. And if she needed something done, she would send him. But he never really he never really fought too much. But in this movie, he's like a big gold monster. And another change is that Billy Cranston, he's black in this movie. So the black guy in the movie is the Blue Ranger. In the show, the black guy was the Black Ranger. And also Zach, he's the Black Ranger. He's Asian in this movie. So that's different from the beginning of Power Rangers, the original show. Also, there's no Bulk and Skull, the bullies from the show. They're not in this movie at all. There is a bully. I don't know if they say his name, but there's no Bulk and Skull. The movie has strong character building, for all the Rangers. And actually, it's not as cheesy as the show. Like, the show was really cheesy and the characters are really like kind of weird. Bulk and Skull were weird. They always did something to the Rangers and then they act silly at the end. Like, this movie is like, it's taking itself seriously in a way, like bringing you the characters. Like, Jason is the leader and he's the Red Ranger. And in the show, they were all just friends, who hung around in the juice, the juice place or whatever. But in this, they're in school and they don't really know each other that well. Jason is a football player. He goes through his things and he ends up in detention. Billy is the smart one. That stays the same. Kimberly is, she's kind of popular. She's supposed to be like a cheerleader. But, she has her own issues. And then Zach and Trini, they don't really fit in as much. And, they all come together. I'm not going to give away everything, but they come together. They find the power coins. And unlike in the show, they didn't really get strong. They didn't really change too much. They seemed regular, even though they were the Power Rangers. But in this, the power coins makes them stronger. Like, as soon as they get it, you see their body and physique change, and then, they can jump really far. They can climb up, the mountain and stuff, and then they're stronger. And that's a cool change, because it's a movie, so you have to switch things up. And also the suits are very different, but I'll get into that later. But, the movie is pretty long. It's a 2-hour movie. Probably could have been a little bit shorter, but they do develop each character and give you a strong story for every Ranger. Moving on to the cast, there's not many big names as far as the Rangers are concerned. I know who the Blue Ranger was. His name is R.J. Cyler, and I know him from a movie, Me and Earl and a Dying Girl. But besides that, I don't really know too many of the Rangers. A lot of them, they were in like smaller, movies or in TV shows. But there you have Bryan Cranston, from Breaking Bad. He was in Godzilla, from Malcolm in the Middle. He plays Zordon. And, he's basically a wall. His face is in the wall. But, he does great voice work. And then you have Bill Hader, the comedian. He's Alpha 5. And he's funny. He's different from the Alpha 5 in the cartoon. That Alpha 5 was weird. He's Zordon's right-hand man, but he always just seemed like a pushover. He was clumsy, kind of. And this Alpha 5, he looks more alien-like. And he's a little tougher, a little stronger. He cracks the jokes. He has the humor from the show. But he's more alien-like. And he really cares about Zordon and the Rangers. And he provides some comedic elements. Rita Repulsa is played by Elizabeth Banks. And when you first see her, she looks like she's in a different movie. She looks like a horror character, like she has the long black hair. She's not really in her costume yet, and she's just real creepy. And I think it's a good look, for the movie. But, she looks weird. She acts weird. She's not like goofy like the Rita in the show, so don't expect that. And she's not wearing some weird outfit, and she's a decent villain. She does fight the Rangers, and I don't think in the show she ever fought them. In the show she was more of a behind the scenes. She told everybody what to do. She never really got her hands too dirty. But in this one, she fights, and if you see the movie, you'll know why. But she's slightly different from the show version. You don't see, in the show she had other like henchmen. You had the guy who made the monsters and stuff. You don't get none of that in this movie, because it's setting the foundation. I think going forth, you will see more elements from the show. But in this first movie, because of course they're going to try to do a sequel, and this first movie is setting the foundation for all the characters. The putties are in this movie. They're not weird, giggling looking people in suits. They're mostly like rock formation. She can like tap the ground and they'll come out the ground. And the cool thing is they'll come out the ground and they'll have like different signs in them. Like if whatever's on the ground at the time when she calls them up, it would just automatically go into the putty. So that's how they look. And they just look like rock creatures, multiple faces and weird limbs. But, they're fairly tough. They're not anything, too difficult for the Rangers. But it's something different from the show, and I know a lot of people are going to go into this movie and they're going to be like, oh my God, it's not like the show. It's not like the show. You have to understand that they trying to make it into a movie universe. It's not as cheesy as the show. As far as the enjoyment of the movie, it's a fun movie. It's funny. It has its funny moments. It has its moments where you just sit back and you care about each character, each Ranger. They express their feelings, to each other, because they don't really know it. It's not like the show. They don't really know each other, so they're building a bond together, to trust one another, to actually have friends. And it's an enjoyable movie. You have fun. You don't have to be a fan to enjoy the movie. It's 2 hours, a little long, so for those who are wondering. But I really had fun. The crowd enjoyed it. There is an after credit. It's a mid credit scene, so I suggest you stay for that. Oh, at the end of the movie, there is also a cool nod. I hope you catch it. Like if you're I hope you pay attention towards the end of the movie, and you would see something really cool. As far as ratings, I would recommend to go see the movie. If you're a fan of Power Rangers, I would definitely suggest to go see it. If you're not a fan, it's okay if you wait. It's not going to be a movie that just, blows your socks off. It's a decent movie, not great, watchable, enjoyable. If you're a fan, I recommend it. If you're not a fan, it's cool. But getting into the suits, like the suits are like, it's like a biometric. It's not like in the show where, you could put the suit on and they don't walk around saying it's morphin' time and the suit just comes on. The suit is a part of them. So it's like when they morph, it just comes, on their body, and it's like it bonds with them. And then when they bond with the suit, that leads to them bonding with their Zords, which are their machines. So everything like is together, and like they can have it where the visor part disappears, so you can see their faces. So they don't run around with the helmet on all the time. They have it on, but then like when they get in the Zord, they can just take the visor part off so you can see their face. So it's pretty cool. It looks very different, but it's pretty cool. Once they change. And it's a nice, cool look. They don't have like the weird looking belts. Even the weapons, in the show they had weapons. Like the weapon, it like grows out of their arm, so it like it's more alien like, which is pretty cool. They actually have a timeline to train, so it's not like they got the coins and then they just were all of a sudden Power Rangers and they were kicking butt. There's a timeline. You see them train. You see them get better, and it's a fun movie. So go out, check it out. Tomorrow I'll go see Life. I probably won't have a review up until later on at that night, but I hope you go out and enjoy the movie. Oh, they do play the theme song "Go Go Power Rangers" at one point in the movie, so that was pretty cool. Crowd got kind of hype. Thank you for listening. Check out KhalilWard.com for more stuff. I'm also on YouTube. I'm on iTunes, and I'm on Google Play Music. Just search Khalil Ward or Just My Thoughts Pod. Deuces.